To create a new web application, we could continue without any code to open the IDE without a project, or we create a new project right here. The wizard can be a bit misleading, so that creating a .NET 5 project is a bit tricky at first, but let's do this together. We create a new project and then we are already able to choose one of the many templates. I already filtered by C# templates because you could also build this thing in Visual Basic, but that's not what we want to do. Now we can search for web application, for instance. As you can see, there's a .NET Core template and a .NET Framework template. To save you time, choose the .NET Core one. Since .NET 5 combines the .NET Core framework with the older .NET framework, Microsoft seems to keep the core term internally. So, ASP.NET Core Web Application with C# it is. Then we give this project a name and we already get the option to click Create. A bit strange because we haven't chosen the SDK version yet, but this comes in the next step. And here's another tricky part. We have to choose .NET Core in the first dropdown, and then we are able to finally select the .NET 5 SDK. In this case, still called .NET Core. Again, this might be different when you're working with the final version of .NET 5 and not the preview. Regarding all the other options, we choose the API template. With that template, we get the necessary components and a little structure for our backend web application, and we also get a small example we're going to talk about in a minute. We don't need authentication, and to make our lives a bit easier in the beginning, we uncheck the HTTPS option. One last thing I'd like to mention is that you see the current version of the SDK at the bottom right. Okay, let's create this project.